What is going on, guys and girls? My name is James. Welcome back today to Roblox. How are you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, of course, it is time once again to jump back into Grow a Garden. And today is the moment no one has been asking for. Yes! I thought it would be cool to jump in today and as well as talk about loads of things that I really want to talk about. I also thought it would be nice to give you guys an update on my real life Grow a Garden. Wow! The crowd goes kind of mild. But yeah, joking aside, I actually really enjoy and grow a lot of things in real life. It's been like a really big hobby of mine for like a really long time. So ages ago, I kind of showed you guys like, I think it was like maybe only my first or second video on Grow a Garden on the channel. I showed you guys like a few of the things that I've grown in previous years. But of course, like real life, you plant something one month and then the next month it looks very different. So I've got a selection of my vegetables and also some flowers from the garden that I literally just took today. If you want to see them, they'll be in this episode. Yeah, if you find that idea very exciting, then yeah, let me know, please. Give me a poke in that like button or whatever. I'd kind of like to actually give you guys like an update every now and again because, as I said, like things have only just started growing right now. Well, you know, sort of starting to produce things. So yeah, things get like quite big quite quickly. So it's always kind of fun, especially like because we're playing a gardening game and it does exactly the same thing. Anyway, yeah, how are you guys, by the way? You guys good? That is amazing. We're currently like midweek for the Mega Harvest update. So to be honest with you, the Mega Harvest update has not been my particular favorite one. I did really like the owl updates and the moonlight stuff and the bloodlets and I really like the honey event, of course, with on it. This one has been alright, but it's not been my favorite one so far. But they have officially just changed the picture on the Grow a Garden Roblox page to the prehistoric event update on Saturday. So as the dev was saying on last Saturday, next event is all about dinosaurs. There's probably going to be new pets, new eggs, new things, probably new mutations. I'm guessing maybe fossilized. Fossilized fruit, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, dinosaur update is confirmed for Saturday, and we shall be here to relish in those dinosaurs. Good times. So, in other plans for this episode, as well as showing you guys my fruits and veggies, I want to try and tackle this Ember Lily farm. So basically, obviously like these days, there's like some crazy strats going on to do with like growing really big plants. So of course, everyone's going mad right now with the honeysuckle stuff. I do actually have one honeysuckle seed, but I'll tell you about why I'm a little bit hesitant to do it in just like a little bit later on. But I do have my Ember Lilies, and because of the new update with the magnifying glass, you can kind of see which ones are good and which ones aren't so good. So I have a few over here, which I'm basically just trying to grow these like as big as I can, just because I quite like the Ember Lilies. But this one here is just under 2 billion, which I know is not like a huge number when it comes to the game, but I'm pretty proud of it. I'm trying to get like a bunch of mutations on it just to collect them, really. This is Gold Celestial, Cloud Touch, Windstruck, Fried, Burnt, Chocolate, Sun-Dried, and Frozen. So it's just under 2 billion. I think I've got another one at the back here. Yeah, this is Golden Wet. This is another 2 billion. And then I think somewhere in the middle here, yeah, that's a 1.3 billion, but that's a rainbow. So I can still get some other ones in there. I feel like that should be a bit higher. But there are a couple of stinkers in here. Let me try and find one. Yeah, you kind of see things like this and you're like, wow, it's pollinated, it's wet, it's celestial, it's windstruck, it's shocked, chocolate, and paradisal. And you think, wow, those are actually really cool mutations. But when you put them all together, you only have an Ember Lily worth like 30 million. So what I want to do in today's episode too is I'm going to basically prune off all of my Ember Lilies that aren't into the billions. And then I'm going to sort of just work on them with sprinklers to try and get them minimum gold or rainbow and just put them back and let them chill. Oh yeah. And for the first time ever, last episode, I was the victim of a crime. I had a really cool Ember Lily here, and I think that may have been my best one. Not the smartest decision to leave it right at the front of the farm. So I think it was definitely gold and celestial and shocked and all of the cool ones. It was molten as well. I never actually got to see how much it was worth, but it was stolen. It was thieved. And we shall never know. And at the time, I completely forgot about the stealing mechanic. I know obviously you've got like raccoons and various things in the game, but you could literally just steal someone's fruit if you want to for like 37 Robux. So whoever stole my Ember Lily, that's so sad. I don't even think it was that expensive, to be honest, but you know what? These things happen. So I do also have a few eggies here to crack. I've been trying to work on getting some starfish because they're really good apparently for leveling up. Oh yeah! Oh, and we're going to sacrifice Mr. Moley today. Finally, I know starfish are like much quicker, but this guy has been bred to extend my pet hive. So I feel like the time of the mole has come. He's dug me up many trowels, for which I am grateful, but I don't really need his 1,000 shekels anymore. So I will miss you dearly, Mr. Mole, but it's time to expand the squad. Anyway, as promised, do you guys want to see some pictures of my current setup in my garden? So it's not everything, because I do have like quite a lot of stuff, but I just went and did a little walk around and just sort of took some pictures. So yeah, first up, I've no particular order, but yeah, the cucumbers are now actually growing. Funnily enough, have they ever done cucumbers in this game? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I do have like a bunch of different cucumbers. So yeah, these have finally started. These things start to produce really, really quickly. Last year I had so many cucumbers that I just had to give them away to like all my neighbors and stuff, which is kind of cool. So I do have some cucumbers. Yeah, these are in no particular order. I'm just seeing them as I pop them off. But yeah, I do also grow roses. So I have like, I think 7 or 8 different varieties of roses. These ones I think are called Just Joey's. And they're like, they smell really, really nice as well. So those are some roses. And then I also have some other kinds of roses. These ones actually looked a lot better before I took the picture. These are kind of just like reddy ones, kind of pinky red. I do also have these. These are climbing roses. So these go crazy. They're purple and they grow like 4 or 5 meters tall, which is kind of crazy. So I do have them trailing up some trellises. Yeah, again, this is some of my peas. So these are Oregon sugar pods. And every single year I grow like these sort of sugar snap peas, and I don't actually cook them or anything because they taste amazing just like raw. So what I do is I chop them up in salads, and they're really, really nice. They're really, really fresh, like super sweet and stuff. They're not like beans or whatever. They're like basically tiny little sweet peas. Really, really nice. What else do we have here? We have, oh yeah, just another random rose. I thought this one was quite aesthetic. I think this might actually be one of my red climbing roses. I've got another couple of climbing roses, but this one's pretty cool. Produces nice big red flowers. They're very nice. And I think this might be the last rose picture. But yeah, I do have other colors as well, but they just haven't flowered right now, or they've flowered and I've like deadheaded them. But this is just another one of my orange roses. I tend to like lots of orange in the garden. I don't know why. I'm sort of naturally drawn to orange colored flowers. I don't know, it's just a thing. Yeah, these guys are pretty cool. These are my purple sprouting broccoli. So I actually bought these literally about like this big. I didn't plant these ones from seed. I normally do everything that I do from seed, but I just did this growing bed and I left it a bit late. So I was like, I kind of want to try these purple sprouting broccoli. So I bought them absolutely tiny. And then all of a sudden, boom, they went crazy. Now here's the thing with purple sprouting broccoli, and I bet you didn't think you'd hear that today. But to be honest with you, it's a bit of a nightmare because yes, it produces really, really nice broccoli, but actually growing broccoli in the UK and probably everywhere else is a bit of a nightmare because it's part of a family of plants called the brassicas. So you've got like your broccolis, you've got like your cabbages, you've got like sprouts, that kind of thing. And it is an absolute magnet to something called the cabbage white butterfly. Oh yeah, but wait, before you even get to the cabbage white butterfly, when these things are small, they're absolute magnets to slugs. So essentially for the first month and a half of growing these guys, I had to fight off slugs every single day. And every single night. And then once they get too big for the slugs to be that bothered, in comes the cabbage white butterfly, and that is a nightmare. So essentially, if you in the UK, if you see like a completely white butterfly, it's probably a cabbage white. And essentially what they do is they find brassica plants like these. I guess they can smell them maybe. And they plant all of their little eggs, and then those eggs turn into caterpillars, and one day you'll have a completely healthy plant, and then you'll come back the next day and half of it will be eaten by about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little green caterpillars. So the idea is to try and get rid of the eggs as quickly as possible. I have been out there every single day, turning over every single leaf, trying to get rid of these eggs, but I guarantee I've missed some. And I'm just waiting for those pesky little caterpillars to come back. I tell you what they look like. It looks like you. Don't be fooled by his cute little face. These guys are greedy, and they can literally strip a plant pretty much of all the leaves, which is obviously not good for trying to actually get some food off them. So yeah, that has been my current situation with these guys. Yes, you can net them so things can't get in. Do I have a net right now? No. So I'm just going to keep doing it the old-fashioned way. For the best. Anyway, moving on because I don't know how interesting this is. But yeah, we've got a bunch of carrots. Carrots are fun. These ones have just started to kind of come to life. So I think there's 3 rows of carrots in there. I do also have these guys, which are parsnips. So I'm hoping that these guys will be ready sort of in and about Christmas time, hopefully, if we don't get like crazy frosts. Because I'd quite like to have parsnips and carrots for Christmas Day from the garden. I know, this is exciting stuff, isn't it? This is literally what I do when I'm not doing YouTube. Oh yeah, this one's really fun. So like, I had some compost, some spent compost from the greenhouse last year. So I grew loads of tomatoes in the greenhouse, obviously. I do that every single time. But I'm guessing at some point, some of the tomatoes just fell into the soil, the compost. And then what I tend to do is I tend to reuse the compost second year round for things that don't necessarily require that much nutrients. And I can also feed it as well. But I just randomly had this planter, and I've got some random stuff in that one of my neighbors gave me. And all of a sudden, like, tomatoes started popping up. So there's like 30 tomato plants from one single tomato. The seeds would have all been together, and they've all just grown in a massive clump. So I've literally got like 30 tomato plants, and I'm just going to sort of pick them out one by one, put them in pots, and then just panic because I don't have any space to plant them. But yeah, 3 tomatoes. We're nearly done for this particular garden update, but these are my jalapenos. Yeah, I grow some nice peas, and yeah, these are just starting to come, so I tend to like pickle my jalapenos. I've only got like 2 plants this year because I tend to always grow too many, and then I physically just don't eat that many jalapenos. I do like on pizzas and in wraps and stuff, but that's only like every now and again. But yeah, I've got 2 plants of jalapenos, which are coming nicely. We do also have, oh yeah, this is just a random one. The whole other side is tomatoes as well. I think we've got 14 tomato plants and counting, but if I were to plant the ones outside as well, we probably have about 35, 40 tomato plants, and that's too many, I think. But it's difficult to say no. So yeah, the tomatoes are coming on nicely. I think actually the next one, yeah, we're slowly actually starting to get some. This is like a long variety of tomato, really, really nice in salads. I completely forget the name. But yeah, I've grown these before, and these are really, really nice. Just a couple more, do not fear. Oh yeah, these are my sweet peppers. So these are like the big, long peppers that you get, but the sweet ones, the red ones, like the Italian peppers, which I think are going to be really, really nice in salads or like making a sauce or something. We also have the penultimate picture. I'm just growing some random basil. Don't know why I'm showing you that, but basil is always really good. It's taken a bit longer than usual, to be honest, but we're trying. And yeah, again, this is another thing with tomatoes, is that when they grow side shoots, if they're like the varieties that go in trellises, you want them to grow tall, not wide. So basically you pick out the side shoots at 45-degree angles, not with bush tomatoes though, with like trellis tomatoes. And then you can actually plant the side shoots that you take out, and they will literally grow into fully grown tomato plants. So this is one that I picked like a couple of weeks ago, and now I have another plant with nowhere to live. So I'm in a bit of a tomato crisis, but it's a good problem to have. Until the next update. Time to actually do some IRL farming here. Pick up this bad boy. It's going to be sad to see him go. I mean, he's not the greatest pet in the world by any means. He's pretty useful, but I know I can get starfish and stuff and do this really, really quickly, but this has been like my goal since the first time I got this mole. I've kept him on here deliberately because he is going to finally upgrade the squad. So we're going to go for another pet slot here. Thank you, Mr. Mole. Wait a sec. There's my mole. I'm going to miss you, buddy. I'm going to miss you, buddy. 3, 2, 1. Trade him in. Yes. Okay, pet slot 7. Fantastic. So I do also have, I think I've been trying to get some of these basic eggs here. I've been trying to go for some starfish because they level up really, really quickly apparently, but I keep getting crabs. That's like my 4th crab in a row. Dude, give me a starfish. Starfish. Yes. Okay, that is good news. We're going to stick this guy right on. He's a really, really good pet to have because I don't think he's a big one, but he gains additional XP per second, and the higher level he gets, I believe the quicker he levels up. So I think the next pet slot is 75. He's going to be the next 75, and then I'm going to try and get a couple more because I imagine the next pet slot is going to be like 100, 125, 150. So if you don't have starfish right now and you want to try and get more pet slots or more egg slots, definitely get on the starfish grind, because that's like the first one that I've had because I've been ignoring the eggs because I'm silly. And I regret that. But yeah, we're going to keep growing some starfish. I suppose I might as well open up these guys whilst I'm here. So I was gifted this egg, which is really, really kind. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Ooh. Hello, sausage. Who are you? Yo, this is the hyacinth macaw. Okay. Oh, what was the guy's name? He gave me this like literally last night. Oh, I remember it as well. You know who you are if you're watching. Thank you, dude. We're in like just a public server. And he just gifted me an egg, and it's the 5% hyacinth macaw, which is like the second coolest thing. But this is really good because the ability, it mutates fruit, and it also I think gives cloud touched every now and again. So I am thrilled with that. Wow. Okay, we're gonna just stick this right down. We might as well let it do its thing for a while, level it up a bit. Hey! Oh, I'm actually really, really pumped. Okay, fantastic. I think we've got 2 more paradise eggs here. I got this night egg from one of the rewards for the harvest, but... Oh, okay. Another one of those guys. If we want verdant, that's also useful. Oh, I hate this. I'm going to sell this crab. Okay, and the final paradise egg we have here in this episode, I think I might have a couple more eggs to stick down, but we'll see how we do. It is another capybara. It's a big capybara, but it's still a capybara. Well, you know what? Hyacinth for cool. I am very, very pleased with that. I want to try and like slowly build a lot more of the useful ones. So currently everyone's just going crazy over toucans. Because I think they grow the size of your plants. And of course, everyone right now is going crazy over this giant honeysuckle strategy. But the problem I've got with that is that in order to do it, you pretty much have to empty your entire farm. Now, I know you can get like reclaimers and you can reclaim all of your like prismatic stuff, but it always seems a shame like having sort of something that looks kind of cool and then just having to like instantly empty it to make loads and loads of cash. Now, don't get me wrong. If you can grow one of these things with toucans and you can, you know, get the mutations right and you can use the infinite sprinkler glitch and all that kind of thing, then you can grow something worth like trillions and then it's pretty much GG game over. But at the same time, you kind of ruin, I guess, the whole point of the game, which is to grow a garden, not just one single massive fruit, I guess. I mean, I'd like to try it at one point, but I remember the dev was talking in the last update, and like when they pop up the text, and he was like, oh, so what if you had like a grinding garden to make money, and then you had like an aesthetic garden to just like look nice? And I think maybe that might be the way forward. Like have a plot which you can just like grow your massive mega vegetable if you want to, and then have like your other garden that you can actually try and make pretty. I feel like that would be really, really nice, especially when things are size dependent, money dependent, all that kind of thing. In-game money, of course. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway. What I want to do now is I want to get rid of a few of these stinkers. So we're just going to sort of put them to one side, and then we're just going to work on sort of mutating them. I might try that sprinkler thing at some point. I don't think I'd need to do it really on ember lilies, but I guess I could. I'll tell you what, right now, let's just actually move these guys away, and then we'll decide what to do for Saturday. But this guy, I think we're going to sacrifice. This guy is only 29 mil, so we're just going to unfavorite that, and we're going to pick him. And I know, like, technically there are pets and such which you'll be able to get, you know, the mutations. So, for example, you know, the dragonfly can randomly turn things gold or whatever, but I don't really have access to those right now. And things get mutated so quickly anyway that I'd rather just start off with, like, a decent base amount, to be honest with you. And I know the ember lilies aren't, like, the most expensive things in the world. Obviously, they're quite rare. I feel like they've really toned down the prismatic spawns. I haven't seen, like, ember lilies or sugar apples for a long time. But yeah, look at this one, for example. You'd think it'd be more. Like pollinated windstruck, heavenly aura, alien-like chocolate sun-dried, honey glazed and frozen, and it's only 38 mil, which just seems a bit rubbish to me. So I think we're going to unfavorite it. Wait a sec. Where's me trowel? Where's me trowel? I should be able to move this. Can't move this? Why? Am I standing on it? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This may be more difficult. So this one's 1.3 billion. That's better. Oh, jeez. What have I done? Have I piled them up too much? Mistakes have been made. Oh, jeez. I think anything that's not like a billion or whatever, we're just going to kind of lose. I know it's a bit of a waste of money and a bit of a waste of time and a bit of a waste of some sort of, I guess, some sprays and such, but it's not really the end of the world because we will get plenty more. So, yeah, bear with me and let me just grab a few of these. It's a little bit tricky because they're all piled up so much. I just don't really have space unless I kind of put these guys, like, really out the way. Let's try and do that. Yeah, I think this might be my best one so far. So this is 3.5 billion for my ember lilies anyway. So I think I've got pretty much everything that's not... Well, that one's kind of rubbish. So let's try and get rid of anything that's not in the billions. And then just sort of try and pile them up if possible. We are sort of kind of running out of space. They're sort of... They're not massive, but they are sort of also not the easiest things to deal with because the leaves stick out. They're a bit of a pain. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is the one I don't want this one either, so we're going to get rid of this guy. And yeah, we're going to try and get these at least rainbow or gold to begin with. I think that's basically the goal for these guys. So let's go and pick you. Pick it. Oh no, get rid of that. There we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gone anyway. Let me try and finish off the rest. I mean, some of these are in the 500 million, so I might keep them. Yeah, I'm going to put all of these good ones like right at the back. I think that might help. Okay, so I think I've got everything out that isn't like in the billions or that one random 500 million one. I might as well just keep that one for the sake of it. What's this one? What's this guy? 500k. It is gold and celestial, so I mean that could still, if the dev like does the right events, he could still hit this guy. So let's just move those guys right at the back. So we basically got, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all right ones? And then the rest of them, we're just going to try and regrow. So yeah, I'll deal with this like in the background. Essentially, I just put the sprinklers down and yeah, I was using that sort of offline sprinkler technique where you just sort of log back in and like the sprinklers keep going. So like you just pick them and then, you know, you let the sprinklers go again. And then if they don't mutate, you pick them again. But every time you're offline, the sprinklers kept running. They may have patched that. I'm not entirely sure. But if that doesn't work anymore, then I guess what we can do is we can try this influx sprinkler glitch. But I haven't tried it yet, so I don't want to mess it up too much. Do I have a home for you? Amber Lily, get down. Oh, jeez. There must be a space for it somewhere. Yes, perfect, fantastic. Right, okay, cool. Right, and if we check the gear shop very, very quickly, I don't think there's anything else here, but I think we may be coming to an end of another glorious episode here in Grow a Garden. Yeah, so of course there's a big update coming, which I'm very, very excited about the weekend. So we'll definitely be here to cover that. And by that time, hopefully I'd have sorted out the lilies, sorted out the garden. Like the one thing about this update, which I don't mind, but like you have to grow a lot of tomatoes for like the strat. Basically, if you have like X amount of tomatoes and you're feeding them into the harvest, you're pretty much guaranteed to get good rewards if enough people do it. Or you can actually solo it, I think, if you have enough. But it just seems like every single time something cool comes, it's just mutating tomatoes instead of like mutating something expensive. Just seems to be the case, and I'm not entirely sure why, but it kind of is what it is. Yeah, I've got all of these lilacs to sell. The lilacs seem to be where I make most of my money, to be honest with you. So hopefully there'll be a couple billion there. I do have my beanstalks as well. Those are all looking pretty cool. And yeah, we'll see what the next episode brings. So thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, thanks, and see ya.